Hey folks, Pat here from D&S. This Madison Area Fishing Report is current as of May 13th, Friday, May 13th, so hopefully it's a lucky day for everybody. Before we get started, just wanted to draw folks' attention to the fact that we got some merch in finally. Had a lot of people asking about merch and when we're going to get some stuff in. We got this in late last night, so we don't have it up on the shelves just yet, but stay tuned here on social media. We'll let you know when it's up. But we've got hoodies just in time for summer with our logo on the back here, and also some shirts with the worm guy there on the front and our logo on the back. Also some trucker caps coming with some patches. So pretty excited about that. Wanted to let you all know it's on its way. So the other thing I like to do in some of these reports is highlight area conservation organizations. This week I wanted to take a chance to give a shout to Capital City Chapter of Muskies Inc. These folks do a great job supporting muskie fishing here in Madison and in the area. They, since 1986, have worked with the DNR raising money to buy muskies and stock them in our area waters, particularly Lake Monona. If there was one group that's basically solely responsible for making Lake Monona the world-class muskie fishery that it is, it would be this group. They do tournaments and have meetings, really informational speakers, and host fundraisers to raise money for the great work that they do. So if you're into muskie fishing at all or just into conservation, I would give these folks a look and support them any way you can. So thanks to them for all the great work they do. Let's get started on the report. Things around town have been heating up quite literally. This week has been some really hot temps, record-breaking temps. Yesterday, I think I saw 95 degrees on my temperature on my van driving home from work. So that's kind of a bummer to fish in, but it's also warms the water up, which gets the fish in a little better mood. So up here on the north end, Cherokee has really just been on fire lately. We've had great reports coming in the shop. Panfish moving in to the lake up here, Cherokee Lake, in really great numbers now. Crappies getting ready to spawn. Got some bluegills following behind them. A lot of white bass, largemouth bass. Some great reports of 3, 4, and 5 pound fish coming out of Cherokee. Catfish just continues to be off the charts. Every day I get reports of folks coming in fishing, especially this 113 area, and down here on the North Bay of Lake Mendota, of great catfish action. Fish in the 20, 25, 30 plus range. So some really good action to be had there. There is some type of a catfish tournament or outing. I'm not sure it's a sanctioned tournament, but it's a group of folks that come from all over the Midwest that come up here to fish our wonderful catfish fishery. And so I'd like to welcome those folks and let y'all know that I got a bunch of suckers coming in later this morning from my bait guys at Golan, and we're trying to stock up to help those folks stay on the fish. Those suckers have been really great bait for catfish lately. The one thing that's been kind of a bummer, and I guess sort of a interesting thing for folks to complain about, but a lot of pike up here in Cherokee. So folks, bass anglers, and really anybody that's tossing lures without a leader are complaining about getting snapped off by pike. Even the catfish anglers down here, fishing deadbait, have been complaining about getting snapped off by pike. But there's a ton of pike. A lot of them are in that 20 to 30 inch range, but it's just kind of funny to hear about people complaining about catching fish. But as far as Mendota goes, the opener was good for a lot of folks I talked to. A lot of good reports of walleyes along the city shoreline and into University Bay. I heard about some perch around Picnic Point, actually. Don't hear about perch too much this time of year, but some perch action to be had out there. Walleyes in the shallow water, all around the lake, really. Speaking of shallow water, it's been that's where you're going to want to look for fish. 10 feet or less, I'd say, is going to be your best bet to find fish. So shore anglers got great opportunities to catch really just about anything this time of year before it gets too hot and some of those fish move out to their mid-lake points. But Governor's Island has been a good spot, producing some walleyes and bass around there. And all your little inlets here have had some good panfish action around Lake Mendota, and haven't heard much out deep. Tenney Park, I've heard about some fish in the lagoon there, some good bluegills coming out of there, and some bass chasing bait fish around. Pretty exciting there. Um, Lake Monona, the opener wasn't as good from what the reports I got. I heard about some cloudy water, might have had something to do with that. Haven't heard much for muskie action on Lake Monona yet. Walleyes been pretty slow. Uh, I have heard about a few reports of where the Yahara dumps out here has been great, and the Yahara itself at the East Wash Bridge and down to the mouth there. Had some walleyes in there for the opener. Some folks there at night. Monona Terrace had a good bite down there. A lot of folks come over from Milwaukee and love fishing this wall over here, and had some great reports of some crappies in there. Monona Bay just continues to be the fish factory that it's been since ice out. Bluegills, crappies in the triangles, and in Monona Bay itself. Brittingham Bay is a great area to walk around and check out fish there. Haven't heard much out of Wingara. Got your typical small fish coming in, and a lot of small bluegills in there, and uh, some muskies in the smaller side of things. Got panfish down here in Turville Bay and Squaw Bay have been heating up. Haven't heard much from muskies. Usually this is a decent muskie spot early in the year. And these channels, though, have been um, producing some panfish in here. Winnequa Park, a lot of sorting to go through there, but it's a great spot to take kids. And there are some decent kills to be had. Um, the bite over here to Lattice Park, I haven't heard much about lately, and in the lagoons by Rutabaga, that's kind of died down, I think. But the action in Upper Mud continues to be great. A lot of good panfish in there, and walleye action. A lot of great multi-species action to be had here along this bike trail. Some great shore fishing access on some piers there. Have had some good bites there. Lake Farm Park and just the north end of Wabisa in general have been good. With in the shallower water up here, trolling has been good. Fish down here in the south end, I've heard about some good panfish action down there. Haven't heard much for any muskies on Wabisa either, or pike, or really much walleye action other than up here on the north end. I guess I did hear a little bit about some guys down here getting some fish on this southeast shoreline, I guess you call it. Babcock Park. Did hear a thing in the news about the county doing some renovations in here, putting in some more accessible piers and some trails, paved trails, so that's nice. And also down here on Fish Camp County Park. So great to see the county's improving shore fishing access and accessibility for disabled folks. Haven't heard much out of Lake Kiganza. Walleye on the along the shores, trolling in the shallower water, and again, panfish in there too, if you can find them. But I haven't heard a ton. Some fish down here where the outfall comes out has been good. And I guess that's about it for the chain itself. Rock River's been kind of quiet as far as walleye. They're done spawning now and have moved out. A lot of them moving down in here in the main lake or in deeper areas of the river. I have heard some good reports of white bass up here at the Jefferson Dam. And that's really what's happening now. The walleyes are done, and the white bass are doing their thing. Can be some really great action-packed. Even if you don't keep them to eat, you can really have fun catching multiple fish if you're running double rigs at a time. Same thing up here to the Sauk Dam. Good white bass action up there. The walleyes have kind of moved out. Lake Wisconsin. Been hearing about panfish still in the shallower areas, and walleyes too out in the main lake. So some good opportunities there. The Dells too, the Dells Dam. Been hearing about some great white bass action in there. A lot of folks coming into the shop picking up minnows for that. Haven't heard a ton out of Castle Rock and Pettenwell, but same thing there. White bass, walleyes are in there. I see a few reports about some random muskies, some nice muskies actually getting caught. Folks digging for walleyes mostly in that area. Haven't heard a ton out of the Mississippi. Check with the Clements Barge folks. They got a great report. They keep that posted on their website. If you're looking to get out there, it's a great time. Milwaukee has been slow as far as the steelhead go. That run is pretty much done, but now we're going to move into summer here. look for smallmouth to be turning up on the Milwaukee River. That's really a great fishery. That's really, just 10 years ago didn't have much in it at all and was kind of polluted and not doing great. But it's really turned around thanks to a lot of good conservation efforts there, and some good smallmouth should be turning up in there. Same thing down in the Root River. You got your harbors too. The Oak Creek Power Plant there, and the harbors along Lake Michigan have been producing cohos, which is great, and some super good eating on those fish. Sheboygan area and what is it down here? The Port Washington, sorry, areas have usually are great for salmon and coho this time of year. But I've heard fishing's been slow because there've been huge groups of alewives in there, so the salmon and all that have plenty to eat there. So fishing, I've heard, has been a little slow. The pier, same thing with the white bass. They're just stacked in there right now. Walleyes have moved out into the main bay, but lots of good post-spawn action to be had in that main bay for walleyes. Otherwise, around Madison, as far as the trout fishing goes, streams have been stable and clear, and we haven't had any downpours, so water conditions are great. People have been catching some fish. I was out Sunday myself over in the Highland area in the Blue River system. Got into saw some good blue-winged olive hatches, a couple caddis. The real treat there was a Hendrickson hatch that came off, and Hendricksons are a little bit of a larger mayfly. Got kind of a red tinge to them, and a little bigger fly, easy for the fish to see, and it really fish can kind of go crazy for them when they're popping off. So I was able to land quite a few fish in just about a half hour that hatch came and went. But other than that, not a ton going on around the chain otherwise. But post your picks down below and comments and reports. We love to hear how folks are doing out there. Otherwise, it should cool down this week, make temps a little more pleasant for being outside on the water. So let us know how you do, and feel free, if you got any other questions, call the shop and we can elaborate on some of the things we've talked about here today. But otherwise, yeah, tune in next week, and good luck out there.